Hi guys, me again, Big Rich, and I just want to bring you a video, a long-awaited video of a kit which I made for the HobbyLink Japan contest a few months ago. And of course, during the competition as it was running, you weren't allowed to show off your work. Now that the contest is over, here it is. I've been meaning to do this for a while, I've just been putting off and been forgetting. Okay, it is the 1:100 scale Gundam Leopard from Gundam X. Only this is a kit bash with the Mark II version 1.0. What I've done is I took the, if anyone's ever built the Mark II 1.0, it's from 1998 and it's not a particularly good kit by today's standards. It's essentially, it's a high grade with some inner frame for the legs and some different joints with the elbows, and there's not a lot to it. I've built high grades in more time than it took me to build it. It got scrapped. You know, you needed bits for other kits and bits of plastic and joints and whatnot, so I don't care. It wasn't a complete kit when I got it cheap, and it just seemed the perfect thing to do was to combine it with the Leopard, because I've been a big fan of the Leopard. Hand in shots. Been a big fan of the Leopard for a while, ever since I saw Gundam X, and I wanted to do something special with the kit, and yeah, it just seemed right. But what I've done is, if I spin it around slightly, is I've taken the legs. I don't know if you can see right there, you can see the material, can't you? The legs from the Mark II. I've taken the ankle, anyone can recognise that from the Mark II, and I've taken the hips. Can you see hips from the Mark II? See that better? I don't want to move these side skirts because I've actually broken one of them and I can't remember which one, but there, and the upper thighs from the Mark II. I wanted to take some more, but you know, this was a 1998 master grade and 1996 high grade. The two were never supposed to go together. Colour scheme, I've tried to keep it a bit out of the box, but some a bit more advanced, a bit more modernish. So the feet, the black out of the box, that's Tamiya's NATO black. They're grey, exactly as they should be, even though the plastic was blue, it's supposed to be black. Black on the knees, black on the chest. Missiles are exactly the same colour out of the box. More missiles there. But as you can see, the doors, for example, here, I just did a little more detail on them. Let's see if I can give you a better view there. I just put black on there. All the chrome got made grey. Anyone who's interested in painting Meki gold chrome, just paint over it. There's really nothing to it. And black on. Let's lift them up. See the cannons. It's all nice and shiny. I know it shouldn't be. It should be incredibly flat, but nevertheless. Colour scheme was, if I show you there on the side skirts, come out very well. Dark green and light green. In fact, that's the same light green I used on my no grade Gundam X. Just some dark green, just in a camo-y pattern. Just use blue tack to mask that off. And then on the zoom out. Then on the missile pod here is a great example of me reversing the colour scheme slightly and making the dark green the stripes and the light green the base. Now for those of you who haven't noticed, this kit is very, very weathered, very, very battle damaged and very, very scratched. That was for a reason. Those of you who've seen Gundam X, what happened was the opening sequence is the Earth lost the war, space won the war, and they dropped a huge amount of colonies on the Earth and pretty much decimated civilization. They went into a mini nuclear winter. As a result of this, a lot of the mobile suits were abandoned by the pilots. They weren't able to be maintained and were just left to ruin. So I thought, why not? When the series came around, so I thought, why not look as if it's been a bit abandoned? when the series came along and people were stealing mobile suits for their own little mercenary purposes, they couldn't maintain them properly, or at least up to the factory standards, so they'd use mismatched parts, they'd have to make their own parts, they couldn't maintain them well, and I just felt this reflected well with this kit. Bits of rust here and there, mud and scratches and here and there. Let me show you, let me see if I can do it, because with the modifications, I'm sorry to go back to the modifications, I'm completely unscripted, as I'm sure you've noticed here. The arm joint, it's blue. That's because I wanted to give it more arm articulation, except I thought I could do that. I thought I was good enough. Turns out I wasn't. I should have watched Mr. Vegeta 8259's tutorial on that a bit closer than I should have, than I did. So after I snapped off the one it came with, I found myself needing to put it back. Blessing in disguise really, because the one it came with was an absolute the actual peg here was a nightmare to work with. So I took these from the 1 to 100 scale high grade Epion, which I had 2 of, one of which was just junked, and cut them off, glued them on, sanded it down, sculpted it a bit more, and there. All of this, you can see that's all glue. It has been glued to oblivion. It really, really has. And you can see on, where is it? Focus, stupid thing. If my camera will focus, which it probably won't, screw it, I'll just tell you. It's about to come apart. It just looks constant there. Can you see it? Big crack down it. Looks like it's about to come apart any second. And it probably will. This has come apart on me a lot of times, and that's why it's been glued to oblivion. So in here, shield. I did, it's upside down. I know, didn't realise that until I'd already started painting it. But I don't care, it looks nicer upside down. A little bit of a black triangle. It looked like it had been strafed by some aircraft, some little holes in it. And that's the dry transfer from the Mark II's Decals 01. Missiles. And then we'll close the hatch. Nice little metallic decal sticker that I got from that Argama I made, and you've already seen. I don't know if you can see it. Little decal on there. I ordered some custom decals. Not all of them went on, because this is a matte based kit and I used some textured paint, so a lot of them just fell off. But that says Thundercats in Chinese, I think. Reason it's Thundercat is not because I particularly like Thundercats, although I did growing up, is because I was on Samuel Decals' website and he does some custom decals. One of them said Thundercats, and I thought, well, that'll do for the Leopard, so I stuck it on there. You can't really make it out on the camera because it came out very pixely, so I dry brushed it and weathered it and just battered the hell out of it. Yeah, so there's that. The back, again, weathered it, beat the crap out of it. I added some panels, and as you see, it's not straight. And that's the thing with this kit, it's not straight. I couldn't get it to be exactly flat. That's just me. This is my very first attempt at a kit bash. It's the most ambitious kit to date, and I didn't, well, A for effort, but in terms of quality, I got a long way to go. And there's something that has just happened, literally just happened, that split. I got, after my last video, I got sick and tired of the skirt armour. You can see there. There's a thruster. I glued some thrusters in. Give it a bit more kick. Pardon the pun. Except the armour wasn't quite right. It was too short at the back, too long at the front, so I reversed it the other day. And this is held together with a little brass pipe, or a little brass rod here. And as you can see, taking it off, I broke it. But what I'll do later on, I'll just get some 2-part epoxy and glue that together properly, so apologies for that. The gun was absolutely could have been a nightmare to paint because it is all built around the Gatling feature. As you can see, it's about to fall off. That's quite deliberate because voila. Cut it down here, so now I've got removable barrels, and that was for painting. Now that I've shown you, I can glue that on. I just want to show you that. The foot, while we're down here, let's just use this example of the foot, is scratch built. See that big box underneath here? It means the foot is longer, the foot is wider, and it was just a box to house the ankle armour. Here, the whole thing contains 3 rods, a lot of milliput, and all that little box is built with plough plates. And without it, the kit simply wouldn't have the weight to stand up properly. It would just fly forward. It wouldn't hold at all. And so it had to be done. And it took about 3 attempts to get that correct. It was the very first thing I did on day 1 of building the kit. I did the feet, and it was the last thing I did as well. It just took so much going back to the drawing board. Decal. Well, right. There's lots of MS HG Builders panels. There's the manipulators. And I'm pretty much destroying this kit as I'm showing it off, aren't I? So let me show the gun off. This is the Gatling gun, what the Leopard is known for, and why people accuse it of being a heavy arms rip-off. Gold sensor, removable barrels, we've discussed that already. I wanted a nice big long decal to go right down there saying Gundam Leopard, but no, it just fell off, literally. I don't even know if you can make out the little decal on there. Probably too shiny, probably can't. It ripped. Anyway, but that one got on. That's actually off a Macross kit, which I had custom made. And one of the final, literally the final 11th hour of me finishing this kit, this actually broke. The peg broke. The polycap, which was being held in by a peg or system or whatnot, actually broke. That's why this lump of putty is right here. I've painted it, so you can't really tell, but if I flip it around to the other side, you can see it's a hole. On this side it's not. It opens, but that could go any second. The hatch, you can see it's there, but the little tab broke off because this thing's incredibly brittle. So yeah, I've pretty much got to open that, stick my thumb in, drag it out, so I don't tend to have it open, have it closed. Anyway, more rusting. Right, so if you'll excuse me for a moment, I'm going to try and put it back together and we'll have a look at some comparisons. Excuse me. Right, in the minute it took me to put this back together, the left arm is literally about to break off. I can see it coming off. So if the kit actually manages to survive this video, I will be ridiculously impressed. So that being said, this is it in the quote-unquote transform mode with the Gatling gun. I put some, don't know if you can make it out, but the barrel's a little bit red. I put some washes on just to tighten that up, and decal on the knee. Right, so in many ways, let's compare it to its, in many ways it looks like this, doesn't it? This is the full armour Gundam. If any of you saw my last video, I'll put them next to each other. I think of them as separated at birth cousins, except one's got a gap. You know, these could be in the same unit essentially. Oops. You know what, except one's a proper master grade, this one's a pseudo master grade. But there they are, they look nice together, don't they? Let's get the other one. And no surprises for what I'm going to compare it to is my X. Hang on just a second. Yeah, I just took the backpack off and closed the curtain slightly so we can get a good look. This is with the title unit, excuse me, from the series Gundam X. And as you can clearly see, one, this is slightly taller than the other. The Leopard is supposed to be 17 metres tall, which would put it 17 centimetres, pretty much the same height as Gundam X, except Leopard is taller thanks to the Mark II's skeleton, frame on the legs. And the feet, custom feet of course, but there they are together. Master grade and pseudo master grade. Oh, put him away. So, hope you like this kit. I love it, and because I've done such a terrible job trying to film this with such a bright light in these conditions, I'm going to end this video with some photographs that I took for the competition. Hope you liked it, and stay tuned for my review of my little Freedom, RG Freedom kits. Take care and bye.